What's up everybody, we're back with another exotic weapons and catalyst video, and this one is on the Outbreak Perfected exotic pulse rifle, which is a kinetic weapon, so it's in your primary weapon slot. So let's get into those perks. The first perk is extended barrel. It is a weighty barrel extension that increases the range, decreases handling speed, and moderately controls the recoil. Second perk is accurized rounds. This weapon can fire longer distances, so increased range. The first origin trait is outlaw. Precision kills greatly decrease the reload time, which is really great. And then the second origin trait is parasitism. This weapon does more damage to enemies based on the number of SIVA nanites that attach to them, and we'll get into those nanites here in just a bit with the intrinsic trait. And then the final perk is a kill tracker for PvE or PvP. And then the intrinsic trait is the corrupted spreads. This weapon creates SIVA nanite swarms on rapid hits and precision kills. So when you're getting the rapid hits and precision kills with this weapon, you'll notice these little red things kind of pop out of the weapon and go latch onto enemies and kind of attack them. And that goes with the parasitism, and it's going to deal more damage based on the number of nanites that are popped out and attacking the enemy. It makes this weapon such a good weapon to use in really any activity. And this ties into the catalyst because the catalyst increases nanite damage, and enemies that die with nanites attached to them generate additional nanites. So the weapon's already really good without the catalyst, but then you get the catalyst on it and it makes it even better because you're generating more of those little nanites, and those nanites are pretty nasty little things. So how do you obtain the Outbreak Perfected exotic pulse rifle? So before I get into how to obtain Outbreak Perfected in Destiny 2 today, I'm going to tell you a little bit of history about the weapon because it goes back to Destiny 1. So back in Destiny 1, the final expansion of Destiny 1 was called Rise of Iron, and that released in September 2016. And that is when Outbreak Perfected, which at that time it was called Outbreak Prime, was added to that game. And to get it back in Destiny 1, you had to do that expansion's raid, which was called Wrath of the Machine, but you also had to do this quest, which involved doing some puzzles within that raid as well. And once you completed that quest, and then the raid, of course, you got Outbreak Prime. And it functions almost exactly the same way, minus the catalyst, of course, because catalysts weren't added until Destiny 2, to be more specific, with Season 3, which was the Warmind expansion. So we fast forward to Destiny 2, specifically in Year 2, which began with the Forsaken expansion, and the weapon, which was renamed to Outbreak Perfected, got added in the third season of Year 2, which was called Season of the Drifter, and that season ran from March 2019 to June 2019. And to get Outbreak Perfected at the time, it came from a secret exotic mission called 0 Hour, and this took place in the ruins of the original tower. And then after you completed that mission and got Outbreak Perfected, that unlocked a heroic difficulty version of the mission, and completing that heroic version is how you got the catalyst. And then to upgrade the catalyst, you had to do subsequent runs of the heroic version to collect these little nanites to upgrade the catalyst. And one thing that was pretty cool about the 0 Hour mission and subsequently getting Outbreak Perfected and its catalyst and upgrading it, it was free for all players, so you didn't have to own that Year 2 annual pass to get access to Season of the Drifter. But unfortunately, when the Beyond Light expansion released in November of 2020, that's when that big content vaulting happened, so the 0 Hour mission got removed, and that meant that you couldn't obtain Outbreak Perfected or its catalyst by its original means. So it got a new source. So to get Outbreak Perfected today, you're going to come here to the tower. Just to note, this gameplay footage was recorded before Lightfall, which is why the director there looked a little bit different. But here in the tower, you're going to come here to the Monument to Lost Lights, which is the exotic archive. Now technically, Outbreak Perfected should be found under the Forsaken exotics, but you're actually going to find it under the Red War exotics. And it's going to cost you 1 exotic cipher, 150,000 glimmer, 250 legendary shards, and 2 ascendant shards. Now the reason you'll find Outbreak under the Red War exotics instead of the Forsaken exotics is because it did not require owning that Year 2 annual pass, whereas everything that's in that Forsaken section required owning that Forsaken content. Granted, I still think it should be under the Forsaken section because that's when it came out, but I digress. Now as for the catalyst, so with that content vaulting that happened with Beyond Light back in November of 2020, most of the other exotic weapons that were affected, they immediately got a new source to obtain their exotic catalyst. Outbreak Perfected, however, it took 15 months, or 1 year and 3 months, to get a new source. It was when the Witch Queen launched in February 2022, and that was also Season 16, Season of the Risen. So, to get Outbreak Perfected's catalyst today, it is a random drop from completing the core playlist activities, which are Vanguard Operations, Gambit, and Crucible. Now once you have the catalyst, to upgrade it, it's a little tricky. You have to get 500 precision kills with Outbreak Perfected. So to recap the video, to obtain Outbreak Perfected, you can purchase it from the exotic archives in the tower, and you will find it under the Red War exotics. To get its catalyst, it is a random drop from the core playlist activities, so Vanguard Operations, Crucible, and Gambit. And then to upgrade the catalyst, you have to get 500 precision kills with Outbreak Perfected. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like down below. Also make sure to subscribe because I have other videos like this available, and I'll see you in one of my other ones.